have you ever done anything that would have got you beheaded in medieval times besides being Jewish? Which is your thing. You said
Sean,
that.
Jesus, man.
You said that. Yeah, all right. This is it. This is the pod. I mean, the sign is taped up with a piece of paper, so I don't expect too much here. Thank you. Please clap. Thanks for being. Wait. Yeah. Thanks for being the first. You saw that was on my notes. I was going to say that to you.
Yeah,
so
you're gonna forget.
You knew I was going to say it. Yeah. This is the first one. It might. I don't know when this will end. It might do well. Might continue to do it indefinitely.
Could be the last one.
It could be
your
the
point.
last one. Yeah.
You watch this back and you go, "Oh my God, that we can't release this."
Yeah, that might be
This
the
is
case.
horrifying.
Or they're studying it thousands of years from now. Like, this is where it all began. Yeah. More for me, less for, maybe for you.
This is the start of the incels taking over
Yeah.
this podcast.
This is the pod where it all begins. Well, what's up? How you doing?
I'm all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you, man?
I'm good.
Congrats on the pod.
Thanks. Thanks. Please help me keep it here.
Yeah. Okay. I
Yeah.
will.
Bring the heat.
I'll do my best, man.
So, Jamie, I met you at NYU. You doing stand-up there. I met you briefly through Tucker. But a thing about when I met you I thought was interesting was... I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing. He just hit his head on that light.
Yeah,
It cracked me up. You were like always doing open mics. Like you were like all like during the day. Like, are you still doing open mics?
No, not really anymore. Funnily enough, today I'm gonna do a couple.
Really?
The first time in months. But
Really?
Yeah, I haven't really done them in a long time.
That's got to be a good feeling when you kind of finally stop doing them. Like paying to do comedy. What is it? It's just now you have enough shows like booked all the time, then it's like...
Yeah, I don't need to do mics. And they're a much worse read than doing a show would be on like the material, the new stuff that you're trying. So it doesn't make sense. If you can try it at a show, you should always do that instead of trying it at a mic.
Yeah, people say, like, because I've heard the reverse. I mean, from open mic comics, they'll be like, oh, you're trying new stuff on the show? Like, I guess that's because you're trying to get out of the open mic, so it's like, use your best stuff. But
Exactly, yeah.
yeah, I mean, there's like, and then there's some open mics. There's one in Brooklyn where they laugh at everything, like almost purposefully.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, this isn't, because I thought I was like, wow, I guess I have gold coming up.
I know.
And then I went to another place and they were like, they just gave me blank stares. So
yeah, exactly. Well, that's the worst thing about mics. They're the worst read at every moment, because when you just start, they're not going to laugh no matter what, because no one at the open mic knows who you are.
Yeah.
And there's like a like clicky aspect to laughing at a mic where it's like, if we don't know you, we're not going to laugh at you.
Yeah.
But then later on, once you know everyone, it actually becomes bad in the opposite way, where they're all your friends, so they all laugh more than you would want.
Yes.
Or expect an actual audience to.
Right.
So they're the worst read at kind of any level. And audiences are great because they have no stake. An audience doesn't care if you bomb or if you kill.
Right.
They're just there to listen. They truly have no opinion on what's going on, which every open micer does.
Interesting.
So it helps way more to do it in front of a crowd, because they're not like, oh, I've heard that premise, or like oh, that's original. They're just like, is it funny? That's the only, and they're not even thinking that. They're just like, am I laughing?
I see.
You know?
I see. That's interesting because like I've been in the mindset where I'm like, mics I don't care at all, but shows make me nervous. But you've kind of just like, now you just made me nervous about mics. Now I'm just gonna be nervous for everything.
Why would you be nervous for mics? Well, no,
because they're judging me. Yeah, no.
Oh, because they're judging you.
No,
Yeah,
I mean,
but
I don't give a shit. Like,
they're at an open mic, so they don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah, that's true too. One of the open mics I saw you at was at Greenwich Comedy Club. So you left like pretty soon after your set, and the next guy to go up was like, well, Jamie left, so now I don't care how I do because he's actually successful. And like, it was like it kind of landed, but I was like, it's just interesting when people will say like their thoughts, that like they reveal who they really are. Like yeah, that was framed as a joke, but it was also serious.
Super serious.
Yeah.
And you thought it was going to get a laugh because you thought everyone felt the same way.
Right.
And everyone else is like, that's odd.
Yeah.
That's 99% of doing comedy.
Yeah.
It's or like, go on stage, I'm like, have you ever noticed how like poor people act this way? And everyone's like, no.
Yeah.
That's not true.
Especially like in the wake of like Bill Burr and Louis, where people just go up and say like horrendous thoughts, and then they don't have a comedic twist.
Just something bad.
Yeah. Like, oh my God. God.
You ever pictured blood coming out of a wound?
Yeah.
Like, wow, that's dark.
Yeah. Waiting for the punchline.
Yeah, yeah.
He's just like,
they're like, it really comes out. Whoa. Thought there'd be something funny about that.
dude.
It's kind of hard though when you're still at that stage where you're doing mics and shows, because you want to do all your good stuff at shows, but then you can't get a good read on the new stuff. So you develop like this 10 or like 15 that's like bulletproof.
Yeah.
And then you only have that for a long time until you get enough shows that you can try new on shows. And that's when you start building more time than that.
I see. Okay. How much has, like, I noticed, like, I feel like even a year ago, you didn't have, like, the internet following now that you've been able to cultivate through just posting clips. Has that, like, changed things for you a lot, or?
No, it hasn't changed really much at all, but it's cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
You getting recognized at all?
Yeah, I do get recognized sometimes, which is very crazy.
Yeah. Do you enjoy it?
I don't really care. I don't dislike it or like it at all. Because it's very brief usually. They're just like, usually they don't even, it's funny because they won't even say a compliment most of the time, and I don't think they realize they're doing this, but they'll be like, oh, I saw you on Instagram. I follow you on Instagram. And I'm like, oh, cool. And they just nod because they think that's a compliment.
That.
But I'm like, you didn't say anything nice. I'm not going to like say thank you for seeing a clip of me on Instagram.
Yeah, dude. I have that same thing. They're like, oh, I've seen you on YouTube. Or it's, and I'm like, cool.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Like,
nice.
And I'm like, oh, okay. And it hurts more because they didn't compliment. I'm like, oh, they don't like me. They saw me and they didn't care to.
Yes, I saw your stuff, man. It sucks.
Yeah, yeah.
Just wanted to let you know.
Okay. Do you? And I actually asked you once because like I suck at internet hate. Like if I get a comment that's like mean, I'm like the nice comments. I'm like, oh, thank you. But the one mean one is the one that makes me like this fucking guy. Like it'll bother me all day.
Yeah.
And like, do you? You told me once that you will delete comments and block them.
Yeah, yeah.
And I have been doing that since.
Oh, nice, good.
Yeah, it feels so good. I'm like, I've silenced them.
Yeah, exactly. If there's something I don't like on my page, I'll block it, I'll delete it, and I won't feel bad at all.
Yeah.
I truly couldn't care less.
Also, people are sheep. Like they'll read the first comment and like change their opinion based on.
I know,
dude. And I'm guilty of it too. I'll watch a YouTube video like that was sick, and then I'll read the comments or like, can't believe this guy, and I'm like, yeah, who does he think?
Yeah, what a scumbag.
Yeah, so you have to like cultivate that like.
And also, it's my page.
Yeah,
so I don't care. You can say whatever you want wherever you want. Except on my page, because I have the power to delete it, which I totally do.
Yeah, that's true. They gave you the option.
Yeah.
So. All right, well that makes me feel. Yeah, I'll block them too, and like because you said, I think it was like, oh, they lost their privilege to watch my stuff.
Yeah.
Like cool.
Yeah, exactly. There's no reason that I should keep making content for someone who makes me feel bad.
Yeah,
that doesn't make any sense at all. So just block and delete.
Good.
And then message them.
Yeah.
You're a worthless piece of shit.
Dude, I've wanted to. Like, I never get mad at people. I never like think about violence. But like when I get a hateful comment, I'm like, I wish I could slap this guy right in his head, dude. Like, or I wish I could.
You said you don't think about violence, and then the first thing you said was a violent thought.
Yeah, well, until I get the hate.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying, oh no. I wasn't saying I never. No. Until I get those things.
Yeah.
Internet comments made me realize I'd be a tyrant if I was a king, I think, because I am not good at criticism from the populace.
Right, exactly.
I would the delete and block, I think, is the beheading of
you do in person. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So, okay, for those that don't know, Drake followed you.
Yeah, Drake followed me
through the reels.
Well, no, I don't think it was through reels. I think it was through TikTok, and then he followed me on Instagram from that because he followed me before he ever liked any reels. So that would be weird if he just followed me and then I happened to start posting reels.
That's what's crazy to me is that like we don't even like. However, if you go viral, you post shit to TikTok. Like celebrities, they're human too. They're watching that stuff.
I know. You don't think that. You don't assume. I don't even assume that Drake runs his own Instagram.
Yeah.
Right. But then.
Well, so I was with I don't know what I'm allowed to say from the. I'll tell you about it more later. But I was like paparazzi for a day yesterday for like a video.
Yeah.
And one of the camera guy, like the paparazzi, was DMing Kim. As soon as he takes her photo, he DMs her and he's like, "Oh, here's all the photos I took," and she chooses which ones he submits, and she's got to do it right away because there's like 40 camera guys getting her photo. So he sends it right away. She's like, "Okay, these ones," and then because she wants the best photos to go out to like all these websites. So And it was, and I watched him. He was like on Instagram DMing her, and she's responding. I'm like, that is insane.
Holy shit.
So some people like, and that's what I think people don't realize is like, if you DM a celebrity, like I'm pretty sure they see it more often than you'd think. You know?
Oh, definitely.
They just don't want to answer because you're not providing. Most of the time, you're not giving them anything. If I'm DMing, Alexis Ren, we should go on a date. She does not want to answer that. She does not care about
Who's
that.
that? Is that a porn star? Like?
She's an Instagram model.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I need a new go-to female name though, because I feel like I've referenced her so many. She's probably seen this. She probably thinks I'm a weirdo. She's just like,
why would she have seen this? Is she a fan of yours?
This, no, she's probably just.
She just walks by. Well, yeah, she works in this office, so of course, Alexis.
Yeah, it's that girl out there that.
Yeah. Oh, she's producing the pod.
Yeah. She's definitely seen my DMs, I bet. But so okay.
Have you DM'd her before?
Not in a long time. What happened was
that's a yes though. You framed it like a no, but that's absolutely a yes.
Yeah.
Not in a long time means you have.
Yeah. Well, because I gave up. I gave up.
Okay.
Well, what happened was originally, me and my friend Moses, we both really thought she was hot, and so one day she posted to Instagram her story. She was at West 4th Tattoo, and I was like, "Oh, look at this! She's at West 4th Tattoo." Like, let's go there right now. And I was like, I don't know about that. No, we gotta. So we go to West 4th Tattoo.
I love how easily you were convinced.
Yeah, we go to West 4th.
You're like, I don't think we should. We gotta. You're like, yeah, we do.
We do need to.
We really do.
And so we go to West 4th, and we go. It's like you go up the stairs, and like now you're at like the counter, and she's sitting on the couch waiting. Like it's like the couches are here, the counter's there, and we like look at her, and then we go up to the counter, and was like, yeah, we're looking to get tattoos. And she was like, this is like the most prestigious tattoo place in the city.
Yeah.
And she's like, you got to like book this months in advance.
Right.
Yeah. And so he just turned around and looked at her, and he was like, Alexis, we love you. And she was like, oh, hi. And he was like, can we get a picture? She's like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, we saw you on Instagram. We came right over.
Oh, no.
I'm like, you blew our cover right away.
Jesus.
And I was like, I literally was like, dude, don't tell her. And then she like laughed. She took a picture with us. I have the photo still. And then I like posted it, and I like wrote the caption, like, if you see this, let's get dinner.
Yeah.
And then like I've DM'd her before, like, we should like just like date, not realize.
Just asking her out on a date.
In a clever way, okay? Listen, I was a young lad. I was probably like 19. I didn't realize.
How old is she? Is she like your age?
She's our age,
She's our age? Okay.
Yeah, I hope. No, she is. No, she's definitely our age. Yeah.
Okay, so she was 19 too when you sent this text. Because it would be weird if
a
30-year-old.
She's 25.
Okay.
Yeah, thank God. I'm not sure. No, she definitely was. But she was like as famous. She was dating like.
What made you want to go on a date with her? Might I ask?
She's hot. That's all it took.
Didn't think you'd say that, but okay.
What do you think I was gonna say?
Her personality or something.
I know. Yeah, you'd think. Well, I've matured since. Now I'm more like.
But what specifically about her look got you?
I don't know. You're asking me to describe like an innate reptilian.
I
response.
know what you think. It's her ass probably.
It's the full package.
Okay.
It's the full package.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The reptilian.
You may as well have said that in the message. Hey, Alexis, seen your ass. Looks great. Would love to grab dinner with you sometime.
Remember when I followed you to a tattoo place?
Yeah.
That was crazy.
You might remember me as the guy whose friend stalked you.
Yeah.
Admittedly.
Oh, yeah, that was crazy.
And I feel like the reason you're saying this on the pod is you want her to see it.
The whole time.
Oh my God, he wants to ask me out.
No,
of course.
I didn't see those DMs.
Sean, I've been a fan forever.
I've long since unsent those DMs, so we're good. We're good.
Okay, nice.
I forget how we even got on this.
Famous people on Instagram. That's what we're
Drake,
talking about. So
yeah.
Drake. So he followed me. Well, the crazy thing is he followed me on Christmas Day.
Whoa.
which is an indictment upon his life.
Yeah, he's
His
just
entire life.
yeah.
Because it's Christmas Day. He has a child. He has like a baby mom. He has like a family.
Yeah.
And he's just scrolling through reels.
Yeah.
He's like, his kid's like, Daddy, what did I get? And he's like, shut up.
Yeah.
Jamie's funny.
Yeah.
He's like,
I thought you were gonna look at it like, what a great Christmas present for me. But
it was a good Christmas present for me, but for his family, I'm sure. Dad, please talk to me. No.
yeah.
This comedian's hilarious.
Yeah. He commented something like roast me or something?
Yeah, and then I did roast him in the comments, and he never since then. That was like a week or two later, and since then he's never interacted with a post
No way.
or liked anything. And I think my theory is that I actually offended him.
What did you say?
He was like, roast me, Jamie, and then I did, and he was like, not like that, man.
Yeah.
That hurts.
What did you say?
I just said, well, so he said roast me, and I was like, you sound like every 19-year-old white girl who comes to my shows. And then after that, he never, ever responded to any post
Wow.
about
But he still follows you.
He still follows me.
Dude,
yeah.
imagine he unfollowed you right then and there, dude.
Yeah.
Now, when you post,
be
do you
funny.
think about that a lot, that he might see it? Like,
No, I did at the beginning, and now I don't. It's not because he hasn't interacted with it. I might think about it if he actually interacted with it, but he never interacts with any of the posts. So
interesting.
like someone who does interact. Freddie Prinze Jr. Do you know who that is? He's an actor. He's like an actor, and he like interacts with a bunch of. He like comments on my stuff and likes all of it. So I think about like, oh, he'll probably see this sometimes.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'm just like putting it out, and I don't really care about how people perceive it.
That's
so
cool.
much. It doesn't really matter to me because I think of myself as a stand-up first. So I'm like, okay, if the joke did well in the room and I was doing well in the room, what the internet thinks isn't important because this is a clip from a show that happened in a place at a time.
I see.
And those people aren't in that place at that time. So if they think it's bad now, that's fine. As long as I know in the room that opinion is incorrect.
Right.
So that's okay to me.
And you also have like the approval from those people. It's like, well, you're wrong. Look, they're laughing in the room. Like,
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
It's like the comment thing when you go and see the hater and you're like, oh, maybe I should hate. It's like, well, if they're all laughing, you kind of must think, well, it must be funny, you know? Like,
yeah, exactly. Well, that's the funny thing about the context of comedy is if I tell the same joke in different places and just based on how the people react, like people go off of what's the sounds in the room. So if they can hear like a big pop on a joke they think might be offensive in the room, they feel it's okay to laugh because everyone's laughing. But if I tell a joke and then no one laughs, because they're not smart enough to actually understand what I'm saying in the joke in real time.
Right.
No one has a brain that fast
Yeah.
to process the idea behind the joke.
Yeah.
It's mostly rhythm in the room. Mostly what gets a laugh in the room is the rhythm of what you're saying and the voice you're doing and how you look. They're not actually processing the idea that you're saying.
Right.
So for that reason, if I tell a joke in certain rooms and it doesn't get a laugh, people hear there's no laugh and they go, oh, that must have been offensive.
Okay.
But they're not actually listening for themselves. They're just going, oh, this is what's happening in the room and I have to react in the way, because they're part of a group.
Yeah.
So they're like, I have to react in the way the group is reacting.
Right.
Whereas like online, I think it's a lot more like the idea behind the joke.
Right.
That often
they could sit there and watch it again and again.
Yes,
and
exactly.
think about it.
There's a lot of people that kill in person that don't do well online, and the reason is that the idea isn't funny. The rhythm is good, but the idea itself isn't actually comedic at all. Like there's no funniness behind the idea.
I see.
It's just a guy going ba-da-da, 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 ba-ba.
Right.
Like the rhythm of comedy,
Yeah.
but not the
It's like
substance
musical.
of it. It's a musical. It is musical. Like a good joke is like a song
Interesting.
in the rhythm.
Yeah.
It works.
Damn. Now, do you so when I started doing like TikTok and stuff, it was really fun to just experiment. Like I would put a video up and it wouldn't do well, so I deleted it, or I'd get like one comment from some random kid like not funny, like I delete. But now that I have a little bit more of a following, I'll post and I'll get like a lot more views a lot quicker, and so it's more intimidating to like experiment. Do you have a little bit of that where it's like as you grow more and more, you're like, ah, shit. If you're not certain in a clip, are you like more nervous to post it, or is it you like you said, you're just kind of like confident because the room was confident in it.
Yeah, I just think of it as putting clips of a comedy show online. I don't really think of the online reaction as even part of what's happening, to be honest.
That's cool.
Because they're not in the, they don't know. That's the thing, is sometimes I get comments or like people go, not funny, and then it's like really working in the room. The big one is like people get offended online a lot more than they would if they're in the room with me telling the joke.
Yeah.
There has been, like, I can count on one hand the number of times someone's been offended in the room as I'm telling a joke.
Yeah.
But because there's this removal of a screen and they're not in the context of the show, like where everyone's laughing, and the point of the show is to laugh at things you might not be allowed to laugh at in other contexts.
Yeah.
They're seeing it in the context of like, that's offensive, because if someone said that to me right now, I'd be offended.
Right.
But they're not at the show with you. So it's important to remember, for me, as a because I think of it as stand up first, that their reaction online it's not correct because they're not there with you doing stand up.
Yeah.
They have no idea what that's like.
Do you get opinions on bits you didn't realize? Like the black therapist one, I saw a lot of the comments were like,
yeah,
you really walked this line good, or like, you know, like, and I'm like, it was just weird. Like the comments were all like, yeah, you couldn't do this, or you did this just right, or like, is that like?
I love that comment because I'm like, did you think I was going to post a clip of myself saying something racist on the internet? And be like, look at that. Come on. Pretty good, right? Like, they thought it was going to go so wrong. I don't understand.
I know. Like, I kind of thought that too, where I was like you just had like it was a great point. Like, it wasn't to me. It wasn't at all like walking the line, because it was like, I couldn't have, because they have it worse than me. I'm like, oh, fun. And then all the comments were like, ooh, so close, but so. I'm like, it really, like, it wasn't.
It
like,
wasn't though.
It's just the first sentence, because it catches you. I wouldn't have a black therapist. You're like, oh wow. And they're like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it. You know?
Yeah, like I'm gonna be like, because they're worse at doing therapy. Like I'm gonna say that.
No. Yeah, at that post. Yeah, crazy.
But it doesn't make sense, and that's where I've noticed, because that joke is a really good example of online versus real life. That joke never worked outside of 3 times that I told it.
Really?
It didn't work in the room. And then online, it's like gone viral like 4 different times on like TikTok, Instagram, all these different places.
You post to Reddit?
No, not Reddit.
Reddit
but
is, I recommend it.
Okay, maybe I will. But that's the weird part, is that joke doesn't work. But it did online. Like, it doesn't. It's very divorced from stand-up itself. Mark said the same thing.
Did you see his Peloton bit?
No.
Okay, he did a bit about like the Peloton and like how it doesn't really make sense, and like I'm not like, but basically the point that he made was it was weird because it was like not working in any of the rooms, so he put it online and it went mega viral.
Yeah.
And he was like, so he asked me what I thought. And to me, it was like a very good point. Like, it made me think. I was like, it wasn't so much so that it was laugh out loud funny as it was like just like it was like still like really good writing in this, and it like made me think about the Peloton differently. But I just think it was like it didn't produce that laughter. And he was like, well, that's all good and fine, but I'm not up there to make points, you know.
Right.
I was like, yeah, that's true. So
yeah, exactly.
have you been like? Because you post like twice a week?
Yeah.
Have you like had a problem like throwing away bits, or because like?
No, I haven't really posted anything I do in my actual act.
I see.
A lot of what I post is stuff that, with the exception of like 2, maybe 3 bits.
Yeah.
A lot of what I post is stuff that worked a couple times and never worked again.
I see.
For the reason that I don't want to post clips of what I do, because if someone sees me online and then they come see me in person, it's actually I'm much better at comedy than the stuff I'm posting online. So much better. It's such better show. So that's why I do that. Is I'm like, I don't want to post the best of what I have. I want to post kind of the worst of what I have that kind of worked.
Yeah.
And then if they come out to see me, they'll be like blown away. Like, oh, I thought you were funny, but that's such a different thing.
I've had 2 like jokes go viral, and part of it for me is like I like do Photoshop stuff, and I like like I almost wrote one of them for TikTok first, and then I was like, let me try it on stage, and it got laughs. But a lot of the comments, or some of them, were like, oh, I want to see this guy live, and I was like, no, you don't, because I did the reverse. I posted the best, and now they're like, people like that saw the video were like, "Oh, I'd love to see him live." I'm like, "You don't," because
that's just a you thing, though.
What do you mean?
Because you have a low self-esteem about comedy.
Yeah.
So that's not true, but that's what you're telling yourself, and I get it because I've been there.
Okay, cool.
I do understand that.
Yeah,
like for real, but it's not true.
Okay,
because you are a good comic.
Thanks.
You're funny. You're a great writer.
Thanks.
And you just don't admit that to yourself.
Oh, maybe that's it. Maybe that.
It's definitely it.
Okay. All right. Cool. I look forward to when I can like you're really good at like. I feel like even when a joke doesn't land, like you wouldn't be able to tell by looking at you. You know, if there was no audio on the video, I'd be like, he's crushing. You know.
Yeah.
And for me, when it doesn't really land, I'm getting better at it. But like, I go inward. I'm like, okay.
I know.
They hate me, or even though I know they're just sitting there like, okay.
They don't give a shit.
Yeah.
That's when I realized that's genuinely what helped me get over that, because I was in the same place for a long time. Also, bombing a lot helps.
Yeah.
A ton. Like going to a lot of mics and just getting no laughs the entire time genuinely helps you.
Yeah.
Like develop a skill of a joke bombs in a set, and you just keep going to the next one. But I realized this is when I changed everything. Is no one remembers unless you offend everyone in the room. No one cares if you bomb.
Yeah.
They just forget that you even went up.
Yeah.
They don't look you up on Instagram after and go, that guy fucking sucked.
Yeah.
You know?
It was just kind of boring.
Yeah. If you're funny, they will go look you up and follow you maybe.
Yeah.
But if you're bad, they're just bored.
Yeah.
They're not like mad at you. Like they're not going home. What the fuck was with he didn't make me fucking laugh.
Yeah.
They don't go up to you after. What was it that, man? I didn't laugh once.
Yeah.
They just don't really care.
That's the nature of boredom. Is the lack of leaving an imprint. Like,
exactly.
Damn. Oh, I want to know your worst bomb story.
Oh, okay, that's a good one. So I used to do this open mic every week in Brooklyn. I was really young. I didn't understand that you have to. You don't have to, but there's different audiences like different things. And different audiences are into different types of comedy. So I would do this open mic every Tuesday night, 5 spot. I think it might even still be a thing, but it was a black room. So it's all black audience, all black comics, and me, like 6 months into comedy.
Yeah.
Doing comedy. And so this one time I was doing it, and it was like longer sets for some reason. It was like, that's why I went. It was like 8 minutes as opposed to like 3 or 5.
Yeah.
So this one week I was doing it, and before me there was a drop-in who is a regular at the Cellar named John Laster, who's like an amazing comedian.
Yeah.
Like truly one of the best in the city right now, and he's been doing it for forever. Just slaughters. He's a black comic. He kills. People are fucking dying for like 20 minutes. They just let him go.
Yeah.
Because he's crushing. And then he gets off, and I get on stage. I do my first joke, and this woman in the front row goes, "Oh no!" And she stands up and leaves. And I see her in the back of the room, just going up to John, being like, "Really good set, man. You were so funny." Yeah. And slowly, as I'm on stage, everyone just gets up and goes back of the room to talk to John because he had killed so hard. And first of all, just seeing me, they're like, "Oh no." And then I do my first joke, and they're like, "Oh no!"
Oh my
It's
God.
like confirms every fear they have. And then they all got up, and my set became about congratulating John on how good his set was.
No way.
And then I got off, and everyone kind of comes back, and like sits and watches the rest of the mic.
Oh my God. So you're just up there like, I just want to give another round of applause to John.
I
Like,
literally halfway through my set, I was like, "Wow, that was a really good set by John."
Yeah. That's probably why I'm not doing so well. He took all the laughs away. He got them all.
Yeah, and they were like, "He did."
Damn.
No humor. That's right. That's the worst bomb I've probably ever had.
Nice.
Thought about quitting that.
And hopefully that remains the worst, right?
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah. You never know, though. You could.
I don't know why you're saying this. You could have a worse one on the way.
No. You're right. I don't know. I feel
What's
like
your worst bomb? What's the worst you've ever bombed?
Oh, you know what? Okay. In Seaside 2 weeks ago, even it was. So I had a show in my hometown on a Friday night, and it went really well. I had a lot of people there that knew me from like high school, so I was like nervous for that.
Right.
And my parents were there, which always makes it. I don't know how you feel about that, but for me, that's very weird. I just don't like. They're super supportive, but I just don't.
Okay.
I don't know what it is. But so the next day, it was at a restaurant on Seaside Boardwalk, but it was like a restaurant that did not know we would be doing comedy there, and so we just like had this one speaker, and my parents showed up for this one too with new friends, and they're in the back, and the entire restaurant for like maybe 5 to 10 minutes looks at the first comic. They all just go back to eating and talking. And I'm just at the front, like, saying things. And I noticed, like, I realized things aren't as much of a joke format as I thought they were until, like, I don't realize it until I'm saying it in a venue like that, if that makes sense. Where, like, we did one where we were busking outside. Yeah. And, like, it was, like, a group of people on a bench, like, all right, let's hear a joke. And I'm like, here's this. And they were like,
more of an observation, but all right.
Yeah. So... And my parents, like, it sucked because they were the only table watching and listening, and they're all.
That's a nightmare scenario.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they were just like, and all of their faces were. Even my parents were like, and Grant Moore actually, he said something funny. He was like, because he went up and he was like, yeah, all the faces of the people at your parents' table look like they were watching war footage. I was like, yeah, that was accurate. So that was probably. But that, like, it wasn't bad in the sense that what I was saying was necessarily funny. It was just, like, the setting, at least.
Yes, exactly. But I think that you're always your best when people are laughing at you already. Like, I found even in conversation that it helps people be funnier if you laugh. Because then they go for the joke. That they normally would stifle. And usually that's the one that's the funniest. Like, the one that they're like, oh, I probably shouldn't say that. And it's usually funny. So if you can give them the confidence to say it, that helps a lot. It makes people funnier, I think, naturally. It's like, when have you been at your best? When have you been at your funniest? It's in front of the best audience.
Of course,
right?
Yeah.
They're so hot, they actually help you be like, perform it better.
Right.
Because they're enjoying it. You start really enjoying it and like going for every act out and like really like actually saying it the way you want to say it every time, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it helps a lot too.
And then it opens me up to be like, all right, now I'll start looking into the audience and looking at faces and like I'll interact a little more because I'm like, it just broke down the wall for me a little bit.
Yes,
know?
exactly.
So if you've seen my stand-up recently, I've been working on like a bit about jesters, right? I'm working on a movie script about a jester.
Oh, cool.
The history of jesters is interesting to me. And so you're a comedian. The jesters were basically the king's personal comedian. Do you think if you were born in the medieval times, would you have been a jester?
No. Well, I would have been Jewish, so I would have been in a different area.
Oh, okay, cool.
I don't think they would have let me in the castle.
I don't think we were supposed to let you adhere. Yeah.
Oh, you're Jewish? Oh, it was great to have you, man. Yeah. No, I'm not going to shake your hand. Just go.
Yeah.
Just leave.
We could press record. Oh, stop.
We have medieval rules here.
Yeah. So Jane Fool was the female jester.
Okay.
And the bit I was trying to work on was like, who was the king that did that? And it was like Henry VIII. And so like to me it was funny because he's like just finding excuses to be around women. So he's got a female jester. He's like, she's hilarious. Bring her in. Like, yeah. And so I'm still working on that.
Everyone's like, Henry, you're sexist. You're killing all your wives. He's like, my jester is a woman. How could I be sexist?
Dude. That's great. I've been like, literally I had the one line. I'm like, I'm trying to fit that. See, that's why you're here. We're gonna delete that bit. And I'm just gonna use it later. Okay, so have you ever done anything that would have got you beheaded in medieval times besides being Jewish? Which is your thing. You said
Sean,
that.
Jesus, man.
You said that.
Edit out the other part. What the hell, dude?
Okay.
Sean, what the fuck was that?
So yeah, would you have been beheaded or executed for anything?
Like my jokes, you mean?
No, like heresy, maybe.
I would have been beheaded. Heresy, that's when what's that?
It's like against God, sort of.
Yes, that's what I would have been beheaded for.
Yeah,
for sure. Yes,
cool.
Exactly.
Adultery, that's one. Now you don't have to tell me.
What's that mean?
That's like
when you have sex with someone who's married, right?
Yeah.
No, I've never done that.
No. Ever been?
Why'd you look at me? There's a pause there where you're like, no, really?
Mostly because I was like, I would have. I haven't, but I'm like,
you would have?
Would I have been? No. Almost. I would have almost been.
In the past would you have been an adulterer, but now you wouldn't?
No, what I was trying to say was I've almost been in this situation.
Okay.
Where I could have been. Do you get a lot of those like DMs that's like, we gotta jump on a call, like, or we gotta like
on a call?
Dude, I get that all the time where it's like,
really?
Yeah, like in a nice way, but it's like
a fan or
Yeah, sometimes it'll be like, oh, I like would love to like pitch this to like somebody at your company or like stuff like that. But I feel like you don't get that at all, or like
No, absolutely
DMs
not.
to like hang out or anything. No.
To hang out.
Yeah, I don't know.
What are you talking about?
Dude, I don't know. Like, I feel like because you were at that point.
Damn,
where,
no, but I want your fans, dude. They sound chill as shit.
No, yeah, no. I mean,
Yo, you ever down to
ride.
just like crack a beer and play Xbox?
yeah. You say that until you get it, and you're like, "Who are you?" No.
This is, by the way, that's the difference between being a guy who, you have some fame, who's like kind of famous online, and then a girl. Because you were talking about Alexis Ren and like DMing her on dates, and then you're talking about the people who DM you.
Yeah.
And they're just like, dude, let's like grab a drink sometime.
Yeah.
You seem dope, man.
yeah.
It's so different.
And it's funny that I'm like, here I am almost complaining about it, and like, but I'm so guilty of it. I'm like, who the fuck am I to be like, yeah, let's get sushi sometime, Alexis? Damn.
Let's get sushi sometime.
I was thinking about it the other day. Like, I saw somebody take a photo with Lisa Ann. Like, he was just a selfie with her.
Yeah.
It's like, that's got to be the worst person. Like, to be a porn star and meeting fans, like, just knowing they have masturbated to you. Because that is the only reason they're your fan.
Why would that be a bad thing, though?
Well, I'm just saying it's a weird thing to know.
Hold on, though. Picture you're the person, and picture a woman coming, or a guy coming up to you and going, I've jerked off to you.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that kind of feel good?
No.
No? You'd be like, thank you.
Yeah. Maybe.
You're like, no.
I think it's like, well, I just like, I don't know. Like, if you're a comedian, all your fans, it's like, oh, these people have all laughed at me. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a little darker when it's like, oh, he was.
Well, I guess that's the difference between you and I, because I assume all my fans jerk off to me, but I guess you don't make the same assumptions.
yeah.
Which is cool. I mean, hey, to each
That's
their
how
own.
they all watch comedy
My fans
videos.
all specifically jerk off to me, but it's cool that you
While
have a different
laughing,
audience.
though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
while laughing. Yeah, and that's kind of the beauty. You find your niche online, right?
Yeah. Cool.
Cool.
Sick.
Sick.